Welcome to another episode of the Adrienne Ross Show, where sports and culture connect. Well, it's been a while since I've said that. I am back. Happy Independence Day to you. What a blessing to be in America. Over on the second channel, Adrienne Ross Squared, I did a live stream in which I read the Declaration of Independence. Thank you to those who joined me over there for that. And those of you who didn't, go check it out. It wasn't a long live stream at all, but definitely worth listening to and watching. Of course, the link to Adrienne Ross Squared will be in the description of this video. I'm not going to hold you long. I have more things that I want to do. You guys know I have so much to catch up on. I did get to go live a couple times while I was away, and I did go live after the Indiana Fever beat the Las Vegas Aces last night. So thank you for those who joined me for those live streams. And I have other things that I want to cover, but just going to do a short video right now before I head out for some Independence Day festivities. This, like I said, is just going to be a short one. I got to talk about and show you the value of having Aari McDonald on this team. As you all know, when I left here, Aari was not a part of the team yet. She was not back, but you may recall that I said that I believe that there was a wink and a nod and a little silent handshake and that she would return, that Bonner likely was not coming back. Check it out. I certainly did a video. I think I called it, "It's Time to Talk About DeWanna Bonner." And so some things have clearly played out there. But Aari McDonald is such an asset to this team. The energy she brings is just, I'm going to say, contagious, but it also opens up opportunities not just for her, but for other people. And in the absolute rout of the Aces that the Fever put on last night, we got to see one example of how Aari McDonald impacts the game on the defensive end. I call it cookies. Those of you who are a part of live streams that we do, those of you who are members of the channel, you hear me talk about cookies all the time. What are cookies? Cookies are when you get that steal. When you get in there, you get a steal. Cookies, it's like dessert up in there. And Aari McDonald served up opportunities for cookies, for dessert, for Sophie Cunningham, when the Indiana Fever continued to do what the Indiana Fever did all night, and that is play tough defense. Defense leads to offense. I've been saying it over and over and over again, that when your defense is strong, it will open up the floor. It will open up opportunities for you to get out on the break, and everybody wants to see Indiana run. Everyone wants to see that fast-paced basketball, because that's when Indiana is best. But what we saw last night, which I'm about to show you, was that they extended their defense. They put on a little bit of stuff that we're used to people putting on Caitlin Clark, but it wasn't just one person on the person who was bringing the ball up. We had two players whose defense was extended. Aari McDonald is responsible for these cookies. So we're going to go over to X, and we're going to go over to the Indiana Fever's X account. Now you see here that the Fever had this caption: Sophie Cunningham steal and score. And that's true. It was definitely a Sophie Cunningham steal and score, but it was not a Sophie Cunningham steal and score without the help, the presence, the fear of Aari McDonald. So let's watch this through first, and then I'm going to slow it down and break it down.
In the backcourt, they get it into Evans. You don't often see that by a team up by 18, and it pays off.
So as you can see right here, barely in the screen, is Aari McDonald, and you have Sophie Cunningham over here. This is Dana Evans over here. This is Aaliyah Nye here. So the play is already going on when this video kicks in. So you see Dana Evans, they had two people over there on Dana Evans. Dana Evans gets the ball over to Nye. And now Nye has a route to push the ball up the floor. She's listed as a guard forward. So she's bringing the ball up the floor. So you've got Sophie right here, Evans right here. Here is Aari McDonald and Nye going toward her strong hand. All she has to do is, as even if you're not the primary ball handler, what we see all the time, you see it from Natasha Howard, you see it from Aaliyah Boston, you see it from various players. When there is pressure in the backcourt, then someone who can handle the basketball, and sometimes someone who really can't, brings the ball up the floor. And so we see here, and Nye is going over toward her strong side. But here is Aari McDonald, and we know Aari is an energizer bunny on both sides of the floor. Her step to the basket is quick, but her defense also quick. And not only do we know it, but Nye knows it. And she doesn't want any part of that smoke. So there she is. Again, Sophie's here. Evans is here, but here comes Aari McDonald. Nye can go all the way up the floor, but she, like I said, she doesn't want any part of that. So look, all of a sudden, she's kind of like, I want to get that ball out of my hand. I don't know if I can prevent Aari from getting cookies. Aari didn't get the cookies though, but Aari is responsible for the cookies that Sophie got. So here we go. Look at her. She doesn't want any part. She's got room. She's got plenty of room, but she's scared because Aari brings it. So what does she do? She is already looking over here. Why are you looking over here? You've got Sophie here. You see Sophie here. You only have Aari. All you got to do is beat her up the court, get it across half court, and then give it up. But no, she's scared. So what does she do? She's already looking in the other direction. Not only does Aari see it, not only do we see it, Sophie Cunningham also sees it. So she's trying to get rid of the ball. She is telegraphing that pass. Still looking, still looking, still looking. Here comes Sophie. Sophie's inching her way up, inching her way up. And then, oh, here I'm going to pass you the ball now. Like I said, complete telegraph. And Sophie reads it. And then what does she do? Gets right in there. Cookies. Everybody in the comments. Cookies. Everybody shout cookies. She gets the cookies. And what does she do? All she's got to do is get the easy two. And look, they're not celebrating. What is she doing? The defense is extended. Next play is about to begin. And she's already right here, ready to pick up defensively. And I like that. I like that. I want to see more of that. Here comes Aari right here. You guys who watch me in live streams, you'll hear me say a lot of times, up, up, up. I wish we could to see that more in the professional game. You see it in the high school game. I was a coach who was big on full court pressure. You don't see it a lot in the professional game, but hey, why should the Fever be the only team that everybody else tries to hold up Caitlin Clark 94 feet? I love it. You get the cookies and then you're right into defensive mode. And here comes Aari right there. She's not face guarding Evans, right? But they're there ready to pick up. You show them different looks. Kudos to the coaching staff for making that happen. Don't let people get comfortable. Every once in a while, show something different. But once again, this is completely set up by, come on, tell me, completely set up by Aari McDonald. You won't see this on a stat sheet. This is what I'm saying when I say so many things get done, like with Lexi Hall. Lexi Hall, so many things she does, but you don't see it on a stat sheet. Aari will have no stats showing what happened right here. But this is her presence making the opposition want to give up the basketball, not wanting to push up the floor, scared, if you will. Sophie's smart enough. She's reading it, and she's already trying to figure out, meaning Nye, how to get rid of the ball. She's already looking, and there comes Sophie. Boom. And there you have 2 points for the Fever, and they're ready for some more. So there you see the kind of defense we want to see from this team. They play good defense for like 4 quarters. I think I did a video about that. I was like, can we put together a full game? They played really good defense. They're playing against a team of Olympians, and they brought the defensive intensity. And in that play right there, we're going to scream Sophie Cunningham. And I love what Sophie brings. She brings fire and energy herself and good recognition on her part. But we got to make sure we understand that a team is like a well-oiled machine and they work well together. And there you have Aari McDonald and the name that she has made for herself with her energy, particularly on the defensive end. And when you have that kind of energy and you have that kind of reputation, then you have that kind of fear that you instill in people where they're like, I'm gonna give them this up. Again, even if you're not the primary ball handler, all you gotta do is get it up the floor. But when you got Aari McDonald there waiting for you, it makes you think. And then you have a Sophie Cunningham who's smart enough to get in the gap and get the 2 points. I have more for you at some point, but I'm going to let you go right now, and I'm going to go myself. I'll catch you next time, God willing. God bless you abundantly. Enjoy your Independence Day.